Hi Internet. So as you can guess by the title of this video, I want to talk to you I'm making a video, Zora. Zora, can you just get out of the way while I make a video? Good girl. And you're back. Trying to make a serious video. Stop trying to lick me. Yeah, that's, okay, you can see. So as you can probably guess by the title of this video, I want to talk to you about, I guess it's not specifically about bullying, more my coming out experience kind of in its entirety and kind of what I've gone through, because I don't think I've ever explained quite like who I am on YouTube or any social media site, I guess. So when I was about 12 or 13, I started realizing that I was having these thoughts about guys, specifically Mark from Sugar Ray. That was kind of my infatuation. And I was raised in Michigan in a very Catholic family. My grandparents are exceptionally Catholic. They go to church every Sunday. They're very, very church going. My mom and my dad, my mom was a Church of England. She was raised in England, obviously. And my dad was raised Catholic with my grandma and grandpa over there. And so I used to actually opt to go to church with my friends who are Catholic as well. So my parents wouldn't actually go to church, but I would want to go. So I would, I'd go on a Sunday with them, and my parents wouldn't go. And I was very, very God-fearing. That's what Catholicism really raises you to do. You're raised to be frightened of God rather than to, thanks, Oreo. Rather than to, sorry, the dogs are just destroying everything whilst I'm making this video. So I mean, that's not kind of the goal. They don't set out to say, right, by this point in time, you're going to be absolutely fearful of God. Obviously, you're raised to love God and to think He's all-powerful, almighty, and He has a plan, etc., etc. So it was drilled into me from a very early age that being gay was wrong, that you were destined for hell if you were gay. So when I was kind of coming to terms with everything, I can remember this. I asked my dad in the car once, like, what happens when people are gay? And he said to me that they go to hell. And I said, is there any way of, not going to hell? And he said, not acting upon the gay impulses or the demons or whatever. He didn't say demons because he's not, like, that bad. But, dogs! So anyway, I ended up kind of just putting it to the back of my mind and just pretending it's not happening. Like, stop it. I ended up putting it to the back of my mind and just pretending it wasn't happening. Yes, go over there. Go away. Putting it to the back of my mind and pretending, it's not happening, I'm not gay, I'm straight, definitely straight, I'm in love with this girl, it's fine, it's not a problem. So I can remember that it got to the point, really random memory, I was playing the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time when it first came out on the N64, and I was in the Fire Temple, and I'd just gotten the hammer, the Goron hammer. It's not called that, is it? Whatever it's called, and I had to call the Samaritans because I was like that upset. No one knew at this point, like no one, only I knew, and I'm not very effeminate or anything, so it's not particularly noticeable. So at school I wasn't really picked on that. I outsided myself, like I outcasted myself, and I just hung around with a couple of friends and didn't really go out for recess or anything or go to lunch. I just stayed in and read books. But so anyway, I say that quite a lot, don't I? Sorry. So I called the Samaritans because I was having suicidal thoughts. I was thinking about, what's the point in being alive if I'm just going to go to hell anyway? I may as well just commit suicide, which also sends me to hell. I get there quicker, and I don't have to, be worried and anxious about it, and I'll just be damned for all eternity. But by this point, I was also starting to think, have second thoughts about my beliefs and what I actually believed in, because God is meant to be this all-powerful, all-loving entity, and if He was truly that, He wouldn't have made me this way to be horrible. Like, here you go, you're going to be gay, and you're going to be, going to hell, basically, if you act on any loving impulse. Like, if you fall in love with somebody, what are you meant to do? Just ignore that? I don't understand why God would do that. So I was questioning my belief system at this point, and I wanted to die. I did want to die. And this is the problem with so many young people, teenagers, even, I would say, 20-year-olds that are frightened to come out. I kept it in. My parents found out about me wanting to commit suicide, and I had to go see a psychiatrist. I only went once because I kind of just hit it all inside of me. I did start acting out. I was quite nasty to my parents, not necessarily to anybody else, but I stole things, and I wasn't a very good kid, but no one understood why, because I was such a good kid when I was younger. So nobody knew about this demon inside of me. When I moved to England, I decided to tell a couple of people when I was about 15 that I was bi, and I kissed somebody at that point in time. And then I ended up getting into a relationship, and he was staying at my parents' house quite a lot. And at the point I came out to my parents, I was asked. They actually asked me, are you gay? And I said, yeah. And my mother threw herself on the floor in fits of hysterics and tears. There was lots of shouting. There was lots of crying. I basically had to leave the house. I had to move out and move in with my boyfriend at the time. And I stayed with him, which is why I did not get particularly good grades on any of my A-levels. I passed them, but only just. I was able to do better, but I couldn't physically do it because I was living so far away and I had no transportation, no way to get there. So that was like the lowest point of my life, basically. My sister eventually asked me, I must have been 18 or 19 when she asked me, and I said, yes, I am. And she just gave me a big hug, and she was like, oh my god, I've got a gay brother, that's amazing. And I was like, oh, wasn't expecting this kind of reaction. But from that, because my sister was so happy about it, my brother didn't care. We eventually got around the family. And then, all of a sudden, my mom's fine with it. And everybody's fine with it. We went back to the States in September. And my grandparents, as I said, are very Catholic. Very Catholic. And they found out. And I went back to the States with James, who is my boyfriend right now. We weren't allowed to stay at anybody's house over there because they didn't find it appropriate. No one in my family, not just my grandparents. And I went to their house. James wasn't allowed to come. And they basically just voiced their opinions. They said that they're an older generation. They were raised a certain way, and they find it very difficult to understand. And I said, well, to be honest, I find it very difficult to understand. For me, it's natural. You were raised with this belief system that it's pure evil. But you know that I'm not pure evil. I'm not going to, go on a mass murder or do anything ridiculous. I might murder her. Oh, great. Or hurt anybody. So eventually we got past all of that, and they were actually fine with James. My grandpa patted him on the back and said, "Hey, James," and everything. And it was, I guess the whole point of the story is there will be a lot to go through. Don't get me wrong. Being this way, being gay, is not easy in any way, shape, or form. It's very difficult, and you could be in the category that nobody, your parents, don't react that way. But even if they do, it gets better. I'm in a very, very happy place in my life right now. Everybody accepts who I am. I'm myself. I don't fit into a specific kind of gay category, I wouldn't say. But it is just so much better now. I mean, not having to live in fear and live with this secret inside of you that does make you have these horrible dark thoughts that I never thought I would have, but I haven't had since. So battle on. You'll be fine. You get past it. Honestly, it's worth you get through the pain, you get through the hurt, and to be fair, there might not be any to begin with. So the world's becoming very much more accepting than it was like 7 years ago. Nobody really seems to be that bothered anymore. No one cares when I tell them I am. It doesn't affect how they interact with me or anything. So keep going, battle on, and it gets better. Bye, guys.